Hi, I'm Hannah. I was tagged by the lovely Cherie from the Top Note to do a fragrance tag, and thank you so much for tagging me. This is kind of fun. There's 13 questions in total, and they're all perfume related, so I will go ahead and answer those. The first question is, what is your boss babe scent? I hate the term boss babe. I just feel like it's almost belittling because we only apply it to women. We never ever call men boss babes. But I took it to mean, like, what is your perfume that makes you feel confident, that asserts itself, helps you assert yourself, makes your presence known. And honestly, I don't normally go for boss babe scents. But if I had to pick one from my collection, without a doubt, I would pick Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle. This is a rose patchouli, and it is so strong. It's definitely one of the strongest perfumes in my collection. And so this would be a boss babe perfume. I would never wear this to work because it's just too assertive. But if I was going to a party or I was going to somewhere where I felt like I needed to have some control over the situation and make my presence known, like I needed to be a little bit bigger, a little bit larger than life, this is the perfume I would pick because it just projects like crazy, makes itself known. I've gotten so many compliments when I've worn it, but I think that's because people can actually smell it, and whenever sometimes people smell a perfume, they feel like they need to compliment it. So I would say Portrait of a Lady. Okay. The next question is asking, what is your go-to bedtime scent? And I think that's like usually for me a perfume that's soft and I can smell it when I go to bed and not necessarily all night. Like I don't want to smell anything while I'm sleeping because I feel like it bothers me and I like it to be quite soft. So I chose Mehari's by L'Herbolario, and I'm showing you the box because I actually took my bottle to work and I left it there over the weekend. So yeah, Mehari's. It's like a pleasant vanilla. It's a bit spicy in the opening, a bit citrusy in the opening, but really it's like a sugary vanilla perfume, and I just think it's so happy and positive, and so I think I would have really good dreams if I was wearing Mehari's as I went to sleep. I actually have worn Mehari's quite a bit as a bedtime perfume recently. I've been wearing it quite a lot over the past few weeks, and I love it. It's just so comforting, and it's not too strong, so I don't feel like I can smell it while I'm actually asleep. And I don't really smell it in the morning because it's quite light and versatile in that way. If I want to wear it during the day, I wear a lot more of it. So that's Mehari's. Question number 3 is, what is your hug in a bottle perfume? So I'm guessing this is a comforting, cozy, wearable perfume that just makes you feel enveloped and approachable. Maybe maybe you're going to be more smiley on the day that you're wearing this. I would choose Belle M by Les Abstrait. I'm totally stealing Cherie's, and I think her answer is so spot on because this really is a hug in a bottle. It's got cocoa and powder, and I always describe this as being like a pillow or a fluffy cloud, but it's got like a bit of a confectionery feel to it. It's not very strong, but it's not very sweet, but it is a gourmand type of perfume because of the cocoa. It's definitely not as sweet as Mehari's by L'Herbolario, or maybe even some of the others that I'm going to mention, but this is just a beautiful, huggable, wearable perfume, and I quite like this one. So I thought this was a good pick by Cherie, and I happen to have a bottle too, so that is my pick. Number 4, what is your secret weapon of mass seduction? So if I tell you, it's not going to be a secret anymore, but I'm going to say it's Prada Candy. Shocking, I know, but this is another one that I get so many compliments on when I wear it, and then when I tell people what it is, they're always surprised because this is kind of basic. It's easy to find. It's been around forever. You can probably go to your drugstore today and spray some on. And yeah, Prada Candy. That is my not so secret weapon of mass seduction. I was gonna say mass destruction, but you are not gonna destroy anybody with Prada Candy. People cannot be mad at you if you smell like Prada Candy. So if you need to fire someone or you need to tell someone bad news, try wearing this and doing it and see if you have a better result than other times. That would be my suggestion. Okay, number 5 is, what is a fragrance you never wear but can't part with? This was an easy choice for me. I am going to choose Narciso Rodriguez for her. I bought this when I was 24 years old at an airport, duty free, and I wore the heck out of it, and I love it so much, and I just never wear it because I don't wear this style of perfume anymore. Also, I used to work with someone who wore this every single day, and I love that person. But because it was really her signature scent and I have so much perfume to choose from, I just stopped wearing it once I started working with her. Literally, I would walk into the photocopy room and I would smell it right away if she was in there. And I loved smelling it on her. So I just stopped reaching for it at that point. So Narciso Rodriguez for her. You can still find this. It's a musky rose and just reminds me of when I was 24 years old. I love it. It made me feel so grown up and put together. And this would be, if I was 24, this would be my Boss Babe scent. This is what I would have picked. And I love that for 24-year-old me. It's so good. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6, what is one of your favorite fragrances that you don't wear enough? Honestly, all of my perfumes are my favorites that I don't wear enough because I'm constantly sampling or buying something new, and I'm not ready to quit yet. So, but if I had to pick one, I picked Traversée du Bosphore by L'Artisan Parfumeur. I fell in love with this perfume when I got a decant of it that someone was just getting rid of. We did a swap and she just kind of threw it in there and I didn't know what it was. And I love it. It's a rose chypre perfume. The perfumer is Bertrand Duchefort. You guys know I love these old L'Artisan bottles. I collect them. But honestly, I bought this in May. It's now November, and I've barely worn it. I've worn it maybe 2 times, and probably one of those times was when I unboxed it. I probably sprayed some on right away, and I was lucky enough to know someone that was selling their partial bottle, and he knew that I wanted it, so I bought it off him, but I've barely worn it. I want to wear it when it's like super cold and snowy outside, but we haven't really had one of those days since May, so knock on wood. I hate those days, but that's what I'm saving it for, and I love it, but I do not wear it enough. You'd think I would wear it more, but I just don't. Number 7, what is a fragrance you would recommend for a beginner who wants to smell unique? I chose Stash by Sarah Jessica Parker. This is a woody perfume, and it's got ginger, and it's got like a creamy coconut kind of vibe in there too, like a dried coconut or like coconut husk. And maybe that's like the woodiness combining with the coconut that gives it that coconut husk kind of feel. But this is not very expensive. It smells unique because of that woodiness and like the sandalwood kind of note. People have compared this to Santal 33, but it is different. I wouldn't say that it's really comparable. It's a cheapie. It's very, very affordable. So I would say that if you like Santal 33 and you're a beginner or new to fragrance, but you want to see if that's a note that you're going to wear consistently, try Stash. It's not as strong as Santal 33, so you can get away with many, many sprays of this, but it is a really gorgeous, beautiful, wearable perfume. And again, one that is a crowd pleaser that I have gotten tons of compliments on, and it's not that expensive. If you're a beginner, I just say don't spend a lot of money right from the get-go, because you don't know where your nose is going to take you, and you don't even know how much you're really going to wear things. So I would say Stash by Sarah Jessica Parker. Number 8, what is a fragrance that you love that everyone else seems to hate? So everyone else I took to mean people in real life that maybe aren't perfume nerds. I think this perfume that I'm going to say is actually a crowd favorite. When you look at the perfume community, lots of people love this perfume. People collect perfumes from this house. And I think if you're a beginner, you're going to find it to be challenging for sure. And people in my real life think that it stinks. But it is. Camel by Zoologist really has a Uranus opening. And that can be polarizing. But it is vegan. And it has like an artificial civet note in it. And I think people just think that's gross. But once it disappears, you have like labdanum and dates and vanilla, and it's just really a nice, cozy perfume and perfect to wear. I think there's like rose in here too. Perfect to wear in the winter. So Camel, yes, Camel is definitely polarizing. Nobody that is new to perfume really loves it. I've had people ask me, like, why would anyone want to smell like this? I don't know. I just think the labdanum in it is so addictive, and the dates are so zingy, and I love a date note. So Camel's my choice for that one. That was an easy one to pick because so many people seem to hate this. Okay, number 9. What is an overhyped fragrance that you currently own? Oh, again, this was an easy one. Honestly, it was in between Dior Homme Intense, which is overhyped, but so good, and Burberry Goddess. So I'm going to choose Burberry Goddess because I think that people really, really love this perfume. They love the vanilla in it, but it's vanilla with like a lot of ambroxan. And so for that reason, I think it's a little bit overhyped, because if it was just the vanilla, I don't think people would like it as much. But because there's so much ambroxan in here, and ambroxan seems to be overhyped, Burberry Goddess, this is the one that I own that's overhyped. Number 10, what is a fragrance that is on the chopping block? I really go through phases where I want to get rid of everything, or I want to keep everything and not get rid of anything. So I sold a few things this year that I wasn't really loving, and some of them were kind of basic, and they went for so cheap that in the end I decided that instead of selling them for next to nothing, it would have been better to gift them to someone, or just hold on to them, or yeah, just like, you know, have them as display pieces in my house, because the bottles are always something to look at and talk about. So I did have to think about this a little bit. I chose Chypre Shot by Olfactive Studio. And the reason for that is, first of all, this is an extrait de parfum, and it's a 100 ml bottle. So because it's an extrait, it is so strong. You literally need one spray, and then you will not stop smelling it until the next day. And not because there's anything cheap in here that, you know, it's not like the ambroxan or something else that is just like super annoyingly long lasting. I think just the formula is so strong. And it's very sweet, so you can't really wear a lot of it without getting a headache or without feeling like it's a little cloying. So I only ever wear one spray at a time. I could have gotten a decant or a travel spray and let that be that. But the other reason I hate this, or I don't hate it. The other reason that it's on the chopping block is because I hate this bottle. This bottle is so wide that it's unwieldy for me to hold. And when I try to spray, see, I'm pushing down, even though the lid is on, I'm pushing down, and the bottle just always goes through the leather. So anytime I've wanted to spray this perfume, I have to take the leather part off and then I spray it. And that is so annoying. I think that this is just such a poorly designed bottle, and you can just tell that there's no women on there. I mean, I would be really surprised if there was a woman on their group of, what's it called? On their board or their, what is it when they like do a study, like their test subjects, or what is that? I can't remember the word, but you know what I mean. It's like the people that are making the decisions in the room, in their lives. I don't know if there's like really a woman in there, because I would say that maybe if you had like big, really big hands, which men usually do, they just have bigger hands, I think, it would be probably easy to spray this and you wouldn't have a problem, but it's hard for me to hold and it's hard for me to spray. And I'm only ever spraying one spray at a time, but I just still find that so annoying. So this one is the one that I would put on the chopping block if I was getting rid of a perfume. I hate selling things for less than I've paid for them. And I did buy this at a discounter, but I just I'm not going to sell this for $20. You know what I mean? I love the juice. I love how it smells. I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to finish this bottle, and I hate the bottle. And number 11. What is the last fragrance that you purchased? It's still in the wrapping. Volant by Diptyque. I was in Toronto last weekend, and I had a day to go shopping by myself, which almost never happens. And I don't know, I was just in the mood to buy something. I wanted something that would remind me of my trip, and I walked into the Diptyque store really not expecting to get anything, because I can never smell anything when I'm in a perfume store. And this was the first perfume I picked up, and I sprayed it on my arm, and I wasn't wearing any other perfume that day. It was first thing in the morning. It was 11 o'clock, which is when the mall opens. And I loved it. And then I sprayed on one other thing, and I was walking around and I was kind of browsing and going here and there, and I couldn't stop thinking about this. And so I went right back to the store in 45 minutes, and I said, okay, I think I'm ready to make a decision. I'll get this one. And I think the dry down of this is a Popanax, and it's kind of fresh and anisic. I think I've seen reviews where people compare it to licorice. I obviously have not worn this because it's still in the plastic, but this is my last perfume purchase, and I'm probably gonna unbox this next week at some point. I'm really, really looking forward to it, and I really loved it. I can still smell a bit of it on the jacket that I was wearing that day, and so that was my last purchase. What fragrance is at the top of your wish list? Probably Sheep Repel 10 by MDCI. I don't know why I haven't gotten it. I think I've been a little bit distracted when it comes to actually looking at my wish list, and that's okay. I'm letting myself do that, and I would say that one is at the top of my wish list. Hopefully I'll have a bottle before the end of the year, and it's November right now, so hopefully I'll have a bottle by the end of the year. We'll see. Okay, number 13, what is your number one fragrance for life? I have to choose Coromandel by Chanel. This is one of my favorite perfumes. It's a patchouli perfume, like a warm patchouli with incense. And when I first smelled my sample of this, it blew me away, and I knew I had to have a bottle, and I did get a bottle. So this is one of my most favorite perfumes. So I would choose this. And that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you were able to make it through those 13 questions, if you have a YouTube channel, I tag you. I think it's a fun way to kind of look at your collection and see things in a different light, and, think about when and why we choose the perfumes that we choose. And thanks again to Cherie for tagging me in this video. That it was really fun. And I tag all of you. I'd love to see what your answers are. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.